Hey guys, before this video starts, just to let you know that this is part 2 of the last video, so if you haven't watched that, please do, and if you haven't watched any of the other parts on the Sonic the Hedgehog Retrospective, please do that before getting to this one. But if you have watched them all, enjoy the video. So Sonic Adventure kicked off the 3D world properly for Sonic in the game, especially being the Dreamcast's best-selling game. It was only the right step to make a sequel, entering us into Sonic Adventure 2. At the time, Sega was on a massive decline and the Dreamcast was about to die, so they wanted to make Sonic Adventure 2 go out with a bang on the Dreamcast. SA2 takes what worked well from SA1 that critics and fans enjoyed the most, and making a sequel that some consider better than the first. One thing to know is that if Sonic 2 didn't make people a fan of Sonic, it was this game. I'm not saying that to everyone who is a fan of Sonic, but at the time, it was the latter. Instead of 6 different stories connecting into one, we get 2 stories that connect into one. The hero side story with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and the dark side story with Eggman and 2 newcomers to the franchise, Rouge the Bat, and fan favorite Shadow the Hedgehog. Instead of telling each story as I did with SA1, I'm going to tell the story the way it's told with both stories put together. Eggman broke into the gun base to track down the secret weapon that his grandfather made 50 years before the events of SA2. Eggman finds and we're met with Shadow. Shadow requested the Chaos Emeralds from Eggman and to meet him on the Space Colony Ark. As this is happening, Rouge fights Knuckles for the Master Emerald, and now the Master Emerald is shattered while Eggman was trying to take it. Rouge and Knuckles go on the hunt for the pieces before the other one could get them. Shadow steals a Chaos Emerald in the city, and Sonic is framed for the actions. Shadow remembers the last memory he had on the Ark with a girl named Maria as she dies and sends Shadow to Earth. Thinking Maria wanted revenge on the humans, Sonic discovers what's going on, and before Sonic could stop him, Shadow gets away and Sonic gets taken away by Gun. Shadow presents the Eclipse Cannon, and if you put all 7 Chaos Emeralds inside, the cannon can destroy entire planets. So throughout the rest of the game, Eggman, Shadow, and Rouge search for the Chaos Emeralds to put inside the cannon, Sonic getting away from Gun to stop Eggman's plans, take down Shadow with the help of Tails and Amy, while Knuckles continues to search for the Master Emerald pieces within a 24-hour time frame. Now this is a story that delivers a great follow-up. There are some issues I have with the story, like how the Master Emerald is smaller, how people mistook Shadow for Sonic, how Shadow saw the memory of Maria's revenge message, or even the threat from Eggman destroying the moon fell on deaf ears. I have no idea, to be honest. But aside from those issues, SA2 does deliver a great story and even some great character development. None of these characters feel useless, and that's a major step up. This direction the game goes for in its story is great, and it does go out with a bang during the final story when you unlock it after beating both the hero and dark side stories. Moving on to the gameplay, we kinda have less to talk about here. Sonic Adventure 2 has 6 playable characters once again, but only 3 gameplay styles. There's the speed levels with Sonic and Shadow, treasure hunting levels with Knuckles and Rouge, and then there's the shooting levels with Eggman and Tails. Sonic and Shadow's levels are really fun to play every time I boot up SA2. They're fast, intense, with all the robots and the cinematic moments. Sonic's first level has you being chased by a gun truck at the end. All the levels are fun to play, though some are more fun than others. You can even find shortcuts to make the levels faster and find your own ways of reaching the goal. I find these more fun than Sonic's levels in SA1. The treasure hunting levels for Knuckles and Rouge are very big, bigger than SA1 stages, which was pretty much Sonic's levels but you can play as Knuckles. So here, that's a nice change of pace. One major issue I have to agree with is that it takes a very long time to find pieces because they only want you looking for one piece at a time, instead of what SA1 did. I can understand the challenge, but that means there's less of a chance on the player to get a better rank at the end. I'll get into that later. It's extremely annoying in Knuckles and Rouge's final levels, and in the level where you have to search for Eggman's keys. Especially when hiding from that robot in Rouge's version of the level. That thing scares me. I will say, these levels are still fun to play. I like the challenge at times, but it's not perfect and I prefer playing SA1's treasure hunting levels. And then there's Eggman and Tails' shooting levels. Eggman and Tails go through the level shooting at anything that they can to get the high score, and they have health meters this time, so you won't die unless the health meter is empty, or you fall into a bottomless pit, as usual. And you're playing as both characters in mechs instead of on foot. For Eggman, I can understand that, but this bugs me a lot for Tails, especially since Tails was a last minute addition to the gameplay, since Sonic Adventure 2 was originally only going to have Sonic, Knuckles, and Eggman as the playable characters, until fan outcry happened. I wonder how this game would have turned out if they didn't add Shadow, Rouge, and Tails as playable characters. The game would have been shorter for sure. I enjoy playing as Eggman more than Tails. Tails, I feel, should have had his own gameplay style. In the first cutscene, we see him in the tornado which turns into the mech, and even later on it can even turn into a car. So why not some interesting flying levels, or Tails with a laser, do some puzzles, anything but this. If you can't tell by now, I spent more time on this game as Sonic and Shadow. Eggman is still good though. Besides Sonic and Shadow, he's the best character to play as. Boss fights are a major step up in this game. They are more fun to fight here than the ones in SA1, and the character battles are a little better, but still not great in my opinion. Unlockables make a return in this game, but instead of being in hub worlds to unlock them, this game is stage for stage, so you have to find them in the levels. And when you get all the unlockables, it makes the gameplay experience for each character way more fun. One of which is important to have in missions in the stage section menu, although some items are useless. There are even times you have to go back to a level to unlock an unlockable, so there's a good amount of replay value here. A new thing to the game, which appears in every main series game after this, is a ranking system where you get a rank on how well you did in the stage, A being the highest and E being the lowest. It's mainly you beating the stage quickly as possible and getting a really good high score and a good amount of rings. Some stages this is a piece of cake, but the other stages can be really a pain to get an A rank. Sonic Adventure 2 has extra content as well. In the stage select, you can play the normal stages from the story mode, but you can also play missions of each level. Mission 1 is the normal stage from the story mode, Mission 2 is collecting 100 rings in a stage, Mission 3 is locating a Chao hidden in an area, and you would need to use the unlockable known as the Mystic Melody to find it. Mission 4 is beating the stage on a timer, and Mission 5 is beating the stage on hard mode. I like this idea. It gives an extra challenge and the game knows how to make you play longer and master the stages. This game also has multiplayer, but I can't play it as I have no one to play it with, and it isn't online without a mod. So the gameplay you'll be seeing is from YouTube. Aside from that, there's a go-karting minigame, which plays the same as a normal car level with Tails and Rouge from the story mode. But I suck at these really badly. Like, I came dead last when just trying to play expert mode. The Chao Garden makes its return, and it's an improvement from the last game. You can make your Chao a good Chao or an evil Chao, take it to school, and even do Chao races again, which are even better. And a new minigame for the Chao being Chao Karate, where you can watch Chao beat the crap out of each other. It's fun and so cute to watch. A lot of people spend most of their time in the Chao Garden when playing Sonic Adventure 2. Even SA1, but I'm not one of those people. I spend more time on the story and playing Sonic and Shadow's levels than in the Chao Garden. I guess it just wasn't the thing for me, or something was still missing for me to come back to these. I don't know. The emblems make a return and actually give you an award in the original game, unlike SA1. There are a total of 180 emblems compared to SA1, which was a total of 120. And when you've got them all in A ranked every stage, you unlock an extra stage in the stage menu, which is Green Hill Zone Act 1 from Sonic 1, but in a 3D space. This is pretty cool to play around in, and I really want to see other levels in Sonic 1 like this. Shame we never got that though. Not even a fan game, which is odd. I feel like that should have been a thing. I cheated to get this by downloading a 100% save file. I got desperate for Green Hill Zone. I will one day beat the game with a 100% completion on my own, without cheating. We'll see. Maybe stream it. So overall, the gameplay does improve on the bonus content, but the main gameplay feels a bit of a step down outside of Eggman and the speed levels and the bigger treasure hunting levels. Plus there's the overuse of enemies spawning at random times and explosions. Something I've never liked about this game. Graphically, this game looks better than SA1. The cutscenes are full on animated, sometimes even in motion capture, with no recycled animations. The movements are more natural. Sometimes. The game is really amazing in the lighting department, and the textures fit so well with the game's style. You know how much I love the music in SA1? Well, SA2 is even better. All the tracks in this game are so memorable. All the new songs we get are great, and I can remember pretty much all of the music from this game, from the times I've played this so many times, and all the times I've listened to each track online. It's really great stuff here, and the theme songs are so good. Each character gets a theme of their own, and it's awesome. Except Amy, they just reuse her theme from SA1. Overall, Sonic Adventure 2, while the story, graphics, music, and the bonus content is improvement from SA1, the main gameplay elements are what's holding the game back. Like, half of the styles are great, and the others are good, and one is not so great. Even though I've said all of this, I still to this day find it hard deciding which game I think is better out of SA1 and SA2. Some elements I think are better than others in each game, but I can never really decide on this. I've played SA1 longer than SA2 since I grew up with SA1 than SA2, and I always find myself going back to playing SA1 more than SA2. So I guess I'm gonna have to go with SA1 on this, just to have some kind of conclusion with the two. But either way, both games are great, and if you haven't played them, I recommend it. You might not be so fond of it because of how the game hasn't aged, particularly in some areas, but at least one playthrough wouldn't hurt. So now with that over with, we've now seen Sonic's official 3D debut, and it was a great jump towards it. Sadly, after SA2's release, the Dreamcast was discontinued and Sega became a third-party developer. On such platforms such as the new Sony PlayStation, newcomer Microsoft Xbox, and even the new Nintendo GameCube, and even their handheld, the Game Boy Advance. The first thing to be done with Sonic with this jump was porting SA1 and SA2 to the GameCube with Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Both of these ports changes things in the graphics and the lighting, giving us new models of characters, different textures and lighting, sometimes even changing some of the bonus content, even adding in bonus content and messing up the sound. Most people grew up with these ports, and these are the versions of the game we'd see the most often whenever the game gets ported onto a later console. Until they ported it to Steam and modded to have the original Dreamcast look. SA2's added extras is mainly a new multiplayer mode that fans have loved and is one of the most famous things about the port. And on Steam there is a mod to play the game online with friends. The GameCube port would later be ported to, as said, Steam, but also the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, with widescreen support. Some cutscenes, though, didn't get this treatment, for obvious reasons. And the Battle port contains one of the best and most famous intros to a Sonic game right next to SA1 and Sonic CD at the time. SADX has a mixed reaction on how if it's better or not. It's the same game from the Dreamcast, but only with updated models and changed textures, plus there is some bonus content which makes the emblems in this game very useful. Every 20 emblems you unlock a Game Gear Sonic title to play, and you can get all the Game Gear Sonic games from this. Not one is left out. We even get games that were never heard of as they were Japanese exclusive. And once you get all 120 emblems, you unlock Metal Sonic as a playable character to play as in Sonic stages. It's fine, but not really worth it. There's also a mission mode where you can find these cars in the hub world, and you can do a task in the hub world or in the stages, and you can take on the task however you want and whenever you want, and you don't have to do one at a time. These missions can be completed in the hub world and in the regular stages, so it doesn't matter which way you do it. Just like Battle, DX got ported to the 360 and PS3, and even Steam making it twice as SA1 had been ported onto the PC. A group of fans created something called Better SADX. In this mod it allows you to play the game normally, and even let you play the game in the original Dreamcast look with widescreen added to the mod. There is a version of this mod for the Steam version of SA2 Battle as well, making them the definitive way of playing the game. Check it out if you haven't already. It's worth it. Not only did we get GameCube ports of SA1 and SA2 at the time, we also got a collection port of the classic Sonic games under the name Sonic Mega Collection or Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which contained the 16-bit era games and even some Game Gear games. There was also the Sonic Gems collection, which included Sonic R, Sonic CD, and an arcade classic, Sonic the Fighters, and even extra Game Gear games which Mega Collection didn't have any present. Not only that, we also got a new series of games made for the Game Boy Advance, returning the 2D gameplay of the classics. Are these any good? Stay tuned for next time, where in part 5, I'll be talking about the Sonic Advance trilogy and Sonic Battle. Like, comment, subscribe, support me on Patreon, follow me on my social medias, and join my Discord server, and I'll catch you all later.